Hello.
Hello.
All right.
We're back.
And we're back.
We're doing it, guys, again for the third time.
I'm Caitlin.
Fourth time?
Fifth. This is number
But
5.
one of the episodes is going to be hidden forever. So.
Yeah, it will never see the light of day.
On Patreon, it will.
We talk about really bad things. It makes us look bad, so.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just kidding.
Not necessarily. It
I'm
was
joking.
just, it was,
Too heavy.
it was a very political.
Yeah. Too political, too heavy.
I didn't think it was too political or too heavy. I think we just scraped the surface on some things. That's my opinion, though.
Like, no, right.
It was vetoed, so I don't.
Veto.
Say. It was.
Danny DeVito.
Is that recording?
Yes.
I'm going to set a timer.
It is funny because we yap and then we hit record and then we're like,
Now what?
now what do we do?
I'm Caitlin.
God damn it! I hate that. I hate that so much.
I think maybe on the first podcast, do you know how like in TV shows they like when they're first introducing the people they have like a little banner with their name?
Oh,
Maybe we can just do
that.
that if like
I can figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. It shouldn't take, one Google search and I can just watch a 5-minute YouTube tutorial of, hello guys, here's what I'm going to do.
Okay, Matthew, cut that.
My life. No, I'm not gonna
that.
cut that. That's not
That
racist.
was racist.
No,
racist as
I can
fuck.
do a Mediterranean accent.
That's not a Mediterranean.
Or a Eastern Asian accent. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My life, my rules.
Okay.
My style, my attitude. Love me or hate me, I do not care. But don't play with me. That's gonna be the TikTok clip. Anyways.
The G on the Tigers is cut off at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. Ow. This head is very tight on my head because my hair
I'm
is
going to
growing
take your
out now.
hat off, or just look at me. Okay.
The G,
Yeah.
you see how it's
Yeah.
like...
That's a mistake on the
It made me
embroidery
so
machine.
mad, but it was like $20, so...
That's expensive.
This is a nice hat, though.
Yeah. No,
It's a nice hat.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got a Michigan t-shirt. During the family drama in Michigan, we had to bail, and we bailed with Donovan, and we were just driving around Detroit, and we were like, let's find something to do.
Just for the record...
In the murder capital of the United
No, that's
States.
Chicago. But we weren't driving around Detroit. We're 40 minutes north of Detroit. We're driving around north of Detroit.
I was just Detroit is very vague because it's pretty big.
But it makes it sound like we're like smack dab in the middle.
Well, it doesn't matter. We were in Detroit.
Okay.
That's where we were. We were driving around Detroit, and we're like, let's find an activity. We're like, let's go to Kohl's, and we like just went clothes shopping.
They had a self-checkout. That's what I
That
said.
is my dream.
That's what I said.
When stores added self-checkout, I instantly will go
They
there.
took out all but like 1 or 2 counters, and then they put in a self-checkout. It was sweet.
We were trying to check out, and the lady's like, I'm open. I was like, okay.
We're like, we're gonna use the...
That, I feel so bad. Like when I go to a grocery store and like I'm going to the self-checkout, and then there's always that one cashier like standing at the end, like waiting for
Dollar
people.
Generals. I live at
Do
a...
they have a self-checkout?
Yeah.
The one that's right next to my house, yeah.
I avoid all the stores that don't have self-checkout.
The
so
Aldi's and,
Aldi?
yeah, Aldi.
Aldi's has a self-checkout?
The one in,
Is it like fully
it's,
self?
yes, it's brand new.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going. I literally avoid there because
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, no, you can go to the self-checkout now. And so that's where I go shopping now, is I'll hit
Send
up
me
Aldi.
which one is it? There's only one.
The
in
one
that
next to Kroger. It's
There's
like right
one
next to
over
like a Ross.
area. Oh, okay, over there. Okay.
There's like a closed donation bin like randomly in the middle of the parking lot.
Wait, I've been to Aldi one time, but I was like with someone else, so they did the talking. When
It's so wonderful. You just go in and they have bags underneath the self-checkout, the paper bags. Make sure you scan those because those are not free.
Oh, yeah, they're like 16 cents or
They're
something.
12 cents.
12 cents.
You just
My apologies.
they're a lot smaller than the bags used to be. They
Yeah.
like shrinkflation, you know what I mean? They shrunk them down, but like
Yeah.
you just scan them, they're 12 cents, you fill up your bag and then you go on. No, I've been I've worked a total of, not counting this week, 5 days in the last 3 weeks, which we talked about last time. I finally worked a full work week.
Let's go,
Period.
buddy.
Okay, I'm missing 50% of my pay.
Ooh.
So my budget for groceries was like $70 a week for 3 people.
And that's where Aldi shines. You can get a lot at Aldi for
I
$70.
would, yeah. No,
You're
I would.
crazy.
It's missing because you didn't work, or it's missing because the company did something.
We stole it from
Because
you.
I didn't work.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you meant like the money you did get is
My
missing.
paycheck for the last 2 weeks was $340 this week.
For 3 weeks?
For 2 weeks.
Oh, that was like my part-time pay at Walmart.
$340. That's what I have to work with. Like, Justin is still getting his full pay and stuff.
Okay.
But like, we're missing a fourth of our income for this month because me and Justin make about the same amount of money.
Yeah.
He actually makes more money than I do, but because of child support,
Which is so dumb.
he he pulls in about $700 a week, and I pull in about $700 a week.
Isn't self-sufficient?
Bleep her name.
Oh, yeah, of course,
She's
of course. I of course I'm gonna bleep
Yes.
What
that.
is that question? What do you mean?
Like, does she have a job? Is she supporting herself?
She has a husband.
Yeah.
Does she? And
She's a very traditional woman.
Yeah, she has a husband, and he is an electrician, and they have like a nice house out in the country.
He knows how to lay pipe.
I said electrician.
No, like that's a plumber.
He knows how to connect them wires.
He knows how to make that spark.
Hot wire that coochie. Take it for a ride, brother.
But yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if because she has primary custody, and then
I don't know what that it came
Oh,
from
it's
your
a piece of cardboard.
from your apartment.
she has primary custody because Justin doesn't like that it's this way, but it's this way because like when they broke up, he was like so broken. You know what I mean? He just agreed with everything in court.
Yeah.
And so now we try to go back and change it, and apparently once you make a child support agreement, you can't. It's almost impossible to change it. So
Yep.
we just have him on weekends and 2 days through the week until like 7 p.m.
How old is he? 14?
He's 13. He's turning
He's
14
almost
this year.
18, so soon.
Well, as soon as he turns 15, I am driving his little ass to the fucking DMV and getting him his driver's license so he can drive up
16.
to us.
16.
15, you can get your
Oh, you
learner's
said
permit.
15. I thought you said 18 for some
No,
reason. All right.
15, you can get your learner's permit.
Wait,
But yeah,
what?
they
For
moved.
me, it was 16. Did they change it?
I should clarify. We're talking about my husband's son, my stepson, right now. I feel like I didn't need to clarify that.
they don't have the same spec.
But they moved at about an hour.
You're half of the same spec.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because they're not related. So
How about you shut your goddamn trap?
someone, I can't remember who said it, but a person genuinely thought that when you marry someone, you're related to them.
By marriage.
Yeah, by marriage.
That, like you were related to them
Like,
By
automatically.
blood. Yeah,
Justin,
yeah.
because me and Justin are married, he's family now. Like
Yeah,
he
of
is your
course.
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He's your brother-in-law. You are uncle. I'll call him Jay.
Jay, yeah.
You're Jay's uncle and you're Jay's aunt, technically.
I've been an aunt.
I'm done being an aunt, is what it sounded like you
I
said.
was trying to say it, but I said it
But
wrong.
what I was gonna say about Jay is his mom moved him an hour away, so we're driving an hour there. It's more like 50 minutes, but it's about an hour there and about an hour back, like 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. Because he's old enough now where he can call us and be like, come pick me up, I'm bored. And so we're like, okay. We have to drive all the way out there. And with the house search thing, we can't, I was planning on moving to Batavia. I told you guys about that.
Mesopotamia?
Batavia.
Mesopotamia?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're
One of
just
the first
fucking-
civilizations?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was
Sweet.
planning on moving there because it's like the middle point. It would be a 20-minute drive to Jay, but the houses there are too expensive. I'm gonna have to move to like Cincinnati.
Yeah.
In the butthole of.
Which, I mean, works
Ohio.
out better for the podcast because, like, I plan on having a whole room for us to film in, and I don't think you guys would like very much having to drive, like, 30, 40 minutes.
I wouldn't care. I honestly
I
don't
figured you
mind
wouldn't,
drive.
but it would still be, like,
Well,
a hassle.
You plan on moving up north anyway,
Yeah.
so it would work
Well-
out. I don't mind a drive if you're already up there.
The only thing I can really afford is like a studio somewhere, so that's kind of fucked.
Becca, what we're going to do is I'm going to help you with your finances and stuff, and we're gonna get your shit together, and then we're going to buy you a house.
Why don't you guys just move in together?
We talked about that.
You don't want to be fucking one room over, though. That doesn't sound fun.
What?
What?
No, sorry. You and Justin. If you guys moved in together.
Well, if me and Becca had a place together, usually when people move in together, it can cause a rift between those people because like it's just like little things build up. So like if I were to move in with Becca, I would want there to be plenty of space there so we could have our own personal space.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want us to be like right in each other's faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sleeping in
like
the same bed.
I love you, Becca, but like
I know.
like if me and Justin had an argument, you know what I mean, that would, if you could hear every word of it, it would be triggering. So
Yes.
it would have to be like a house where it had a finished basement, and then Becca could have the whole
that
basement.
makes me wish that we all got that house that we were wanting to get.
Yeah.
That would have been so fucking cool because it had a finished basement.
Yeah.
It would have been so nice.
Yeah, if Becca, I had a whole basement, and Becca could have the finished basement, and we could build, since we'd own the house, we could build like a bathroom down there,
That'd
so you'd
be
have your own
so
bathroom.
sick.
I mean, we could even put a little kitchen in there.
I would like a little. I would want my own bathroom at least. Maybe like a mini fridge, but if like a tiny little kitchenette or something.
If it was a basement, we could do that. Or if the house was, what?
Sorry, my window is like not detached on the bottom, and I can see right through it.
I love
I
that.
never noticed that before.
Not
Can you
detached?
see it?
No.
You can see the light through
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's,
Whoever
it's
installed it.
they need to put more caulk down.
You guys are
Be
just-
These
mature.
are new windows.
Hold on.
They put those in like 6 months ago. Do you see it? I never noticed it before. Is that outside?
They didn't install it right. But I mean, you could just put a piece of duct tape over top of it, or you can get some silicone and just fill that
Silicone.
gap. But I mean, that's not going to be a permanent fix.
Because like, I don't think when it rains it gets like weird.
How long
Yeah,
is that crack in there?
since I moved in.
Okay. I was thinking maybe if the house shifted, it could have undone. But
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to say with us moving in is it's either I would have to have a full basement that we could finish, or the house would have to be like big enough. You know what I mean? Like if the house
be
was
s-
like,
could you imagine having 5 or 6 incomes in the same house?
Dude, that's
Like
it would, if
you, Justin, Freedom, me, Maya, and Becca. We all have money and we just buy a fucking mansion.
we could do that.
we
of
all have our
all
own
those-
wings.
Well, not
That
a
would be
mansion.
so fucking sick.
But if we all, like you, me, Justin, you, and Maya, if we all decided to buy a house together, we could probably buy like a $500,000 house.
We could go crazy.
We could.
We would
Or
all
what if
have
we
our own
bought
room.
a plot of land and then put mini houses on it?
I've always wanted to do
Yeah.
that. That's like lottery level because you
Yeah.
had that's too
You
expensive.
think?
Yeah.
If the property down in wasn't so steep, or I'll bleep that. If the property where our mother lives wasn't, there's 20 some acres where you could buy or build houses, but half of the land is like a hill, so you can't really
Yeah.
do much without, you know.
If mom was ever like, "Hey, you can build a house out here," I would do it. I would do it in a fucking
yeah. Oh,
heartbeat.
yeah, that would
but
be-
she's never offered, and I'm never gonna
Well,
ask.
because that's-
it's her land.
you
know what I mean?
can't. There's nowhere to build. You would have to knock down that big black barn to put anything. That's like
Well,
the only space.
Even on a grade, Justin works in construction. Even on a grade, you can. It's just expensive, but you
it's
can
very
level. You can
yeah.
level it out.
Have you seen those houses on the side of hills where they have like the big decks that come off? and it's,
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
Yeah, you could do
things
something like
hold
that
It
it?
too.
is just inconvenient though. That was
Yeah.
my thing. Like you would want to build on flat land just long term.
Or you could put your own flat land in, which Justin could do.
Yeah, but it's just expensive. And you know, they like their view. You know what I mean, from that window. So like if you were to build over there, you know, putting a house there would kind of stink. But that black barn, it has to fall apart eventually. You could put a house right there and it wouldn't be a problem.
If I ever got land, I would totally like. I would have to have so much money, but I would totally like dedicate an acre to each of my family. Like that's been
Yeah.
a dream of mine, is to have like 50 acres of land.
Well, I got paid yesterday, so I can. I got $700 in my pocket right now.
Hey, let's buy some land. But no, if we all went together, we could buy like $500,000-$600,000 house.
That would be
I can
so
afford
cool.
$200,000. Becca, you probably be able to afford with your income.
70.
Really?
Well, I've
70
done
what?
like the calculator thing. It's like
70,000?
75,000 is like how much a house like.
But by yourself, from doing, do you primarily, or you only do like
Amazon.
Amazon or?
I only
you,
do Amazon.
You only do Amazon. That's actually really cool that you can support yourself from that.
Okay, I've looked at houses in that range.
It's more like 120 because
oh, I don't make that much.
No. I'm saying you're able to support yourself from just doing that.
Did you think I said I make 70,000?
No.
Okay.
You could afford a house at 70,000.
But look at the house. Just
No,
whenever
I
you
know,
have time,
I know.
look at the
But
house.
I'm just saying the fact that. Wait a minute.
Becca, you can afford a rent max of $800, right?
I don't know the max.
If the rent that you can afford it, let's say it's about $800. My old house that I used to own, it was $120,000 and it was $800 a month. And me and Justin was making I was making nothing, and he was making $18 an hour. So you could afford probably 120. I can afford 200, so that's 320. Matthew,
I'm probably gonna be getting a new job soon.
well, you and Maya, we're gonna say that you could probably afford 180. So that
Two.
is, you want to just say
200.
200. So 400, so we could afford a $500,000 house.
Especially because I do have a little bit of money in an IRA where I could put a down payment. That would definitely help. And then the first time home buyer, I would say 200.
Can we join first home, or there's only one first home buyer for all of us, or can we join them?
You can join them. We can all get a house together.
But I don't know if we should, because eventually we're not going to live together forever. So
Yeah.
like eventually when
Well, on the first time
home buyer.
home buyer
FHA.
loan, you have to live there for at least 5 years before you can sell the house
Really?
to get
to get
that money. You have to live
so
there.
you don't even
You don't have to commit.
That
to it.
was
It's
my
after 5
plan.
years.
Whatever house I buy, I only planned on living there for 5 years and then buying my forever home, because
5
I'd
years
have
isn't
enough.
that long.
Well, we'd also have to think, whenever we put money into the house, like paying the mortgage, we'd all have to split the equity once we sell it.
We can figure that out.
But my plan was to buy a house, and then the equity that I have.
We would make a content house.
Oh my god.
Phase up, brother.
Oh, dude, it would definitely make podcasts easier.
Yeah. And we're back on that camera.
But yeah, we could.
Sorry.
Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Talking about the content house.
We
And
could.
so we can make a.
We should buy a giant apartment building, and we all just get an apartment. And then we can rent out the ones
Dude,
that
I saw
we
so
don't
many
use.
apartment buildings that were like 200, 300,000. It was like 4-bedroom apartments.
I will say, Maya's brother currently lives in a very small apartment building where there's like 5 or 6 rooms or apartments. And when he first moved in, he was the only one there. So like, we had the idea of what if we just took the other ones, like me and Maya get one, and then Maya's mom
Wait,
gets
he
the other
bought
one.
the house,
No.
or-
Sorry. He's renting out an apartment.
Oh, okay.
So it would have been really cool if we all lived in the same apartment building, but just separate rooms,
What if
That
we
would be
bought an
awesome.
apartment building together?
and just tear down all the walls.
No, if there's 4 apartments, we could rent out the last one to a random person.
Yeah.
And then use that to pay our mortgage. And then whatever that didn't cover, we'd have to pay out of our own pocket. But if something broke in their apartment, we'd have to pay out of our pocket.
Could you
to fix
imagine?
it.
I mean, we would just have Justin go down there and tinker.
Yeah, no, for real. Justin would be the one who
Him
would
go
fix
down
it.
in his wife beater and like hiking shorts, and he's just like, all
What's
right,
up?
well, you know.
What seems to be
But
the problem?
imagine it would be like it would be like a hotel, but shut up.
No, I was just thinking about that situation where, like, did somebody order an extra meat pizza?
Ew.
They're like, sir, I
And they open the
didn't.
box. There's a hole in the box.
Do you know how many apartment buildings I've seen that have been affordable?
We should do that.
We could renovate them
Oh, you
because
mean,
we'd
like,
own
to
it,
buy the that would be fun.
and we'd all just like live there.
And then it's like an investment, because like we could eventually move out and then rent it to people.
Yeah.
And then we like
would
move
own it,
out
yeah.
like whenever, because obviously we're not gonna live together forever, so we could all move out on our own time. And then whenever we move out, we rent out that space to someone else, and then we could keep getting income.
And then yeah, like most apartments are like, they'd probably be like $1,000 each, right?
Yeah.
So if we get a
Roughly.
4 apartment building, if we all moved out, that'd be $4,000.
Well, how many bedrooms per? Like,
They're 1 to 2 bedrooms.
because I'm in a 2-bedroom condo type thing, and it's like $1,400 a month, which is crazy.
I'm in a 2-bedroom house in the ghetto, and it's $1,750 or $1,650. My bad.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on like the state of the apartment and how good we can make it
Yeah.
look.
Well, Justin
would
can
be-
renovate the whole thing. Justin has
like-
his own company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have him renovate it.
For free.
Dude, now I'm gonna look into this when I get
I'm
home.
like actually
That'd be fun.
dead ass.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be funny. I'm gonna bring it up to Maya. Maya's gonna be like, no.
But like we would literally have our own space.
right.
Like we could go weeks without even speaking.
But
to
then
each
at
other.
that point, we might as well just get a house. But
But-
you're saying rent it. But you could just rent the house when we all move out.
We would
But
have
it's
our
different.
Okay, so we get a 4
Maybe.
apartment building, right?
Oh, you're saying if we all moved out and then we would rent out the individual rooms, it would be more money coming from those 4 rooms than it would be renting out a
It's
house.
not 4 rooms, it's 4 apartments.
Well, when I say rooms, I mean
Becca would have one, you would have one, I would have one, and then we'd rent out the last one.
and then whoever's in the doghouse for that week sleeps in the other apartment. So if me and Justin get in trouble with our ladies, I just imagine sleeping in that apartment and I just hear the door open and it's just Justin. I'm like, she yell at you again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You go snuggle together.
Yeah.
On an air mattress.
I like curl his chest hair in my fingers.
What we could do is
doing
the 4th apartment, we could furnish it and
Yeah.
just rent it out as an Airbnb.
Yeah.
We could use it as a studio for the
We could
podcast.
turn it into a studio.
The stew.
We have our own bathroom, our own kitchen, or
Dude, we could do like we could do so much with that.
wait. Actually, I'm dead ass.
I want to
sorry,
look it
I
up
hate
right
myself.
now. I'm ready for
serious.
All of our
this.
devices are being used right now. We cannot look it up. I know. We cannot.
What am I looking at?
Oh, she has a device.
Oh my God, the device!
What am I looking at?
Multi-family homes on Zillow.
Or townhome.
No, multi-family
Imagine,
homes.
you know those townhomes where it's like cookie cutter, but they're all connected and they got like driveways and stuff, like kind of like Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Or not Cat in the Hat, but I was thinking cookie cutter. What if we rented out or we owned a street? We had like individual houses, but they're all connected. You know
If
what
I
I'm
ever
talking
want
A townhome? Like a
about?
townhome?
A townhome, yeah. I think that's what it's called. Just something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
I would love that.
Yeah.
If I ever won the lottery, you wouldn't know, but there would be signs.
We could name, and we could name. Could you rename the street?
No, I don't think
Oh,
you'd
I
have
was
to
gonna
go
say
to you'd have
Lions.
to go to like city council or some shit.
Lions Drive.
That would be
Well, if
pretty
we
sick.
built our own street and it wasn't already established, we could name the street.
Yeah, yeah. But I think changing a street name is probably more difficult logistically.
It's called the Lion's Den.
The Lions, Pions, Dians, Crines, Mayans.
Yes.
The Lions is trying to communicate with Mayans.
So I'm looking for multi-family price range. Any. Why is it?
What are you
Okay,
fucking...
my qualifications for an apartment. My dream apartment, central air. Floors I could walk on barefoot and not feel like I'm gonna get a staph infection.
What time is it?
At least 1 bedroom.
1140.
Bottom floor so it's not so hot and gross.
But then upstairs neighbors. It's honestly better being the upstairs neighbor.
I don't know.
Because I'm quiet.
I've lived on every single floor.
Yeah.
I've lived in the middle. I've lived on the bottom. The bottom one, it's just.
It's
it's
cool.
like, do you know like a basement? Like it's just cozy.
Like I remember that one, I won't say the area, but...
my first apartment.
Yes. That one, the downstairs one, that one was pretty nice.
That one didn't allow cats, so that was the reason we had to move out.
Oh, that's right.
I loved that apartment.
That one apartment was pretty sweet. And it was like, you could just go straight in from downstairs, from the parking lot.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to go into like the hallway, which is pretty sweet. As an upstairs tenant, I don't have that luxury, but it is pretty sweet being upstairs because I don't ever have to worry about sound,
Yeah.
at least from up. The hotel we stayed at in Michigan,
Oh my
holy
God.
fuck.
What?
Holy fuck. Upstairs football game. Like they were like boom, 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 running back and forth. It was one kid or 1 or 2 kids, Chuck said.
The fuck?
I
can't
don't know
remember.
how many kids it
But
was.
it was holy fuck, dude. It was bad. We had to change rooms. We complained, or Chuck complained.
It
said,
was going on till like 2 o'clock in the
it was
morning.
all day.
What if it was a ghost?
No, we saw the kid, or Chuck did. So
Did you give him a word or two of
I said, listen here, you no.
this fucking country's going down a drain? I tell you what.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
Honestly, I don't even know what that means. So I don't know if we should drain the swamp
Well,
or not.
think about Shrek, and he's an ogre. You drain the swamp to get rid of it.
When you drain the swamp, you kill all the wildlife.
Well,
and
I don't think
everything
it's
around there.
literally draining a swamp. I think it's a political term for like deficit or something. I don't know.
Is it like to get rid of the bad?
All I know is it seems like it's a Republican idea.
Let's see. I
You don't
definitely
know
have heard
I don't know
that.
shit.
I definitely heard that on the.
Like, drain the swamp.
Yeah. Let's see. I always thought it was just referring to like.
The Everglades.
No.
Drain it. Get rid of it.
Drain the swamp is a phrase which has frequently been used by politicians since 1980s, referring to reducing the influence of special interests and lobbyists.
Oh.
What?
So like the NRA? Or like
I thought we were against the NRA.
political
Oh, the NRA says that?
no, I'm saying like a lobbyist. I think the NRA is a lobbyist for like the Republican Party.
What is lobbyist?
I don't know shit. So
A
if I'm
person who is
wrong,
employed.
I don't know shit about fuck.
I don't know fucking shit about goddamn fuck.
A lobbyist is a person who is employed or receives payment for economic
It's a donor,
consideration.
essentially.
Well, it's the person that receives the money.
Oh, that receives, not
so
donates.
they're influenced by money with their decision making. Interesting. That still doesn't really make sense, but it's fine.
Like,
It
I'm
does
not
suck
gonna.
that so much money has to be involved on like a political campaign. It's just like the ceiling is so high, and it's like the average person could not run for president. They're always like, you could be president one day. No, I
If you come from money, yeah.
if you come from money or you somehow become, maybe you could work your
Famous.
way up through like government. You could
Like-
start locally and then move. You know, you'd be like, you take up a seat in the Senate or the House of Representatives or something like that. And you can. That's what Obama did, but I mean, he had money. But I don't know if it was
Did you
because
say he had mommy?
no, he had money.
Oh, they said he had mono.
He had mono.
I was like,
He'd be
what?
kissing on a big mic.
Ugh.
Did you see on her voter card from, I want to say 96 to 2008, she registered as a male.
Who?
Michelle. She registered as a male for like
Who's like Michelle
Obama. Big Mike.
What are you talking about?
Michelle Obama, Big Mike.
Who's Big Mike?
She's a dude. Do you
What?
not hear about that conspiracy that she's a dude?
You know that the Republicans say that? It's a transphobic remark they say.
Big Mike.
And it's a racial it's a stereotype that black women look like men. So it's just Republicans
Oh,
being
gosh, so it's very
transphobic and
racist.
Yes.
But it's only with Michelle.
She didn't register as a male, Matthew.
Well, okay, I will say I did not look into it.
People
I
do you know
read the
it's
headline.
it's a thing. People genuinely think she is a trans man.
Oh no, yeah, people believe that. I think it's fun.
And
It's funny to look into it because I'm like, but what if? Because it is a funny situation to think that
How is
Obama
it
comes
funny?
home.
Yeah, I don't
Obama
think it's
comes
How
funny.
is it funny, Matthew?
Because it's just like,
If she was a trans woman,
yeah,
people thinking she's a trans woman.
trans woman,
Trans-
meaning originally man.
Yes.
No, originally male. Because trans people were always that.
Think of the
gender.
word trans as transition. So
No,
trans.
no. Trans doesn't mean transition.
Well, I said think of it that way because if a trans woman, they male transitioned to woman.
You don't have to transition to be trans, but
But
people are saying that to like bash her and delegitimize her and like discount her. It's like a
Well, she
they're
took away our
bashing.
fucking school lunches, so I think.
Hello?
I don't like this.
That was my bedroom door.
Does that happen?
That triggered like my fight or flight.
I think it because my window's open in there.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Luna's like, I'm gonna go investigate.
But it's a microaggression
Micro. Oh yeah, I've heard that.
to say that black women look like men. So it's playing off of race and it's also transphobic because
Well, of course, when I'm saying it just now, I'm not.
you're saying it's funny, but I'm just correcting
I'm saying
it.
the whole idea is people
Why
being
is that
like
funny?
because it just is just being like
Do you
big
think
Mike.
trans women are women?
No. Oh wait. Sorry. That almost,
she
I almost
was
said
a-
no because I thought you asked a different question. I believe that you can be whatever you want to be.
Matthew,
What?
are trans women women?
Yeah.
Do you believe they are women?
Yeah. I don't care. I'm never gonna be like, God damn it, you're a man. I'm never
I'm
gonna
just
do
saying,
that.
the reason I'm saying it's transphobic is because people believe that trans women are men dressing up as women. And they believe that they are men still. So you saying it's funny that Barack Obama is going home to a trans woman, how is that funny?
It just is.
She's not a trans woman, first of all.
No,
But
she's not.
how would it be funny?
Just imagining Obama's gay this whole time. He's just been slurping. That's
That Matthew? If someone is attracted to women, trans women are women, it does not make them gay. They are straight. Matthew,
No,
your sexuality, who you like, is based on gender.
Right, but it's funny to imagine Obama coming home and be like, oh,
They're not
Mike.
gay. He's not gay. You're not gay if you like a trans woman and you're attracted to women.
This conversation is
No, okay.
icky.
I'm just correcting things. 'Cause
I know.
this is important because trans women are women.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's okay to have a genital preference,
Right.
but if you view them as a man, because women can have penises, men can have vaginas.
Because
Your genitals do not describe your gender.
men and women is the
genders.
gender.
Which is
Male,
a s-
female,
Gender is a psychosocial construct.
but male, female, that is the biological.
That's the sex, your
Okay,
biology.
okay.
So you can be
I don't know why I struggle with that still.
It's okay. It took me a little bit to understand it too, but I've done a lot of like research and stuff because I want to understand it because I don't want to be offensive, and I'm trying to help you not to be offensive.
Right, no, I
'Cause
appreciate it. But
it can be harmful.
No, I understand, but I just my whole point bringing that up was I just thought it was a funny concept.
Do you still think it's funny?
I mean, yeah, because
Why? Explain, please.
Okay, just I don't know. I mean, of course, being in Michelle Obama's from her perspective, that sucks. Being like,
Yeah.
you're a dude, because we saw a bulge one time, and we're all like, it's just. I mean, conspiracies. It's fun to think about, but like, they do cause real world harm. Just
I like conspiracies like 9/11 was an inside job, not conspiracies that are like that. What if they're secretly a man?
I know it's just funny to think about.
Are you saying it's funny because thinking about Barack Obama having sexual relations with someone with a penis? Is that what you're?
Well,
That's the
it's-
funny part, or what is the funny part of it? I don't
I
understand.
don't know. It's just the fact that they would like if it were to be real, why they would hide it. Like to have this big old secret. It's funny to think that they would hide it so hard.
Like, if she was a trans woman.
Yeah. Just imagine like first woman, psych.
What do you mean psych?
It'd be like, well, okay, trans women are women. But I'm saying like from certain perspectives, some people wouldn't believe that.
And that's transphobic.
Right. So I believe that the transphobic part of it is funny.
Why?
Because people caring so
listen.
much.
Right now, they are taking trans people's rights away from them to where they cannot get a gender affirming care. They can't even go to therapy.
When do you believe that there's an age for that? Do you believe there's an age for that? Or do you believe that
I believe any person at any age should get gender affirming care. And that's not talking about surgery.
Okay.
I'm not talking about surgery.
Okay.
Surgery is 18 and above.
Okay. So
Gender
we're on the
affirming
same
care
page.
is like therapy, puberty blockers, HRT.
Hormone replacement?
Mm-hmm. But the issue, this is coming full circle, the issue with them calling Michelle Obama a trans woman, making fun of her, calling her a man, is because trans people are getting their rights taken away from them because of people being transphobic.
I got you.
So they're making transphobic jokes about Michelle Obama, and it's being normalized, and they don't see trans people as valid or even human at this rate.
I mean, some people think it's mental illness,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
which is
And
kind of fucked up to to look at someone who believes one thing and be like, no, because or some people might get offended by someone being their true self because they're like, well, that's not right. Why would we do that?
I want you to imagine you being trans and having somebody look you in the
No, it's
face,
fucked
your
up.
loved one, and being like, you're just mentally ill.
It is fucked up. Like, there was a couple of times I got in an argument with a friend and he was like, what are you, bipolar? Like, just like shit like that. like a generalization because
Yeah.
you're uninformed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Obviously, that's different. That's a big difference. But
like gender dysphoria
yeah,
is that trans people can have that, and that is
Excuse
a
you.
mental disorder. It's a mental stress disorder, but not all trans people have that.
yeah.
So that aspect, people like to say, well, it's in the DSM-5 as gender dysphoria. So it's a mental disorder. It's like not every trans person has that.
I used to think that way. I used to think that it
We've
was
had
a
this
mental,
conversation.
I used to think it was a mental disorder, and that was before I was educated on
Yeah.
it. And I feel like the difference there is I educated myself.
It's so important because they're literally bringing trans people that are oppressed into politics, making laws against them. So it's so important to understand that it's wrong to try to take away rights. Like, you need to understand that these people are valid, and it's not just a man dressing up as a woman.
They're
And
still
it's not
people.
funny.
Like why take away someone's rights because they dress differently or they act a different way? It's not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? I know people are like, well, don't bring our damn kids in. I'm like, that don't.
Like, people demonize things they don't understand.
Right. It's easier to push it away than take it in, I guess.
It's like a cognitive dissonance. They've learned something their whole lives, and if you challenge it, it like makes their brain like.
I've never understood the whole bathroom thing because it's like the people who are pedophiles is usually white men, like
It
cis
could
white
go
men.
either way though, like trafficking. You know what I mean? Like
What?
maybe that doesn't apply. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I'm having a deja vu moment right now. Have we talked about this before? On the podcast?
Maybe.
Okay.
Not on the podcast.
Oh, not on the podcast. We
Okay.
probably talked about it.
I don't think I've had this talk with you before now.
No.
But me and Caleb's talked about.
Yeah, like I said, I was just what's the word? Bigoted?
I
Or
guess.
ignorant?
Yeah.
Not
ignorant.
yeah,
You're not
ignorant.
bigoted.
You
Not
were,
bigoted. I was ignorant. This was
yeah,
like when
ignorant.
I was 18 and I was like freshly new baby face to the world and I didn't understand it. So obviously my first response is, oh, that's not like me. So that must be wrong. You know what I mean?
And it's the important thing is to like educate yourself so you're not ignorant, so that you're not willfully ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
no,
people,
absolutely.
a lot of people can't get over that cognitive dissonance to learn things, to branch out and understand that things are different than what they've been raised to believe.
Well, not everyone is like you. There are different people in the world, and it does not hurt to try to understand what, like, their differences. You know what I mean? That's one thing that makes relationships with people beautiful, is the differences between us. Because if everyone was the same, it just wouldn't be, the world wouldn't be interesting.
So Matthew, please tell me how it's funny that they think that Michelle Obama is a trans
You
woman.
gotta understand. This isn't an excuse, but I still very much have high school humor. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm in the real world now.
Yeah.
There's real world consequences. I understand that, and like if I made a mistake or anything, I'd obviously own up to it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. When I said it, I was expecting just like a laugh and move on. I didn't. I would
Well,
never.
I
You
think
got your
this
your
is my-
Batman, brother.
I think my special interest has been like learning about oppressed people and like understanding it so that I can be a better person. I don't know.
So you can be better.
Does that make sense? Like, I like lock onto things and I want to like learn everything about it. But I think a lot of it is to do with like I have a strong sense of justice, so like when I know that someone is like being oppressed and like being treated less than, like I want to be the person that's like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And this is why. Or what else do we need to inform you about before we continue? What
Where
else?
the
What are
baby
your
come
other
from?
views that are
Where did baby come from?
controversial?
I want to know where baby
Problematic.
come from.
What?
Penis
Baby
in the
come from?
vagina.
Baby come from where?
Penis in the vagina.
Baby come from where?
And a woman's vagina.
A female's vagina?
Actually,
Or
it's
no.
the uterus, because the vagina is the canal that leads to the uterus. 'Cause if a baby was inside your vagina, that would be insane.
Ever heard of the Panama Canal?
Yeah.
Panama, these hands. My hands. Fuck, I fucked it. God damn it. You're gonna get hit with Panama hands, bitch. There we go. I fucked it really. And we're back. People are like, you can't joke about the Panama Panama. You can't joke about that because that actually brings in a lot of money,
Resources.
and that's like how we make anything in our economy.
Wait, is that controversial, or you're just?
I'm sure at one point it was in like
did
the
something
70s.
happen there?
They built a canal,
That's
and
it?
it's either you go through the canal and pay a shit ton of money, or you spend a ton of time going around South America to get to the other side. But originally America owned Panama, and then or the canal or whatever, and then they allowed Panama to keep it or something like that or whatever. I don't know. So and we're back.
And we're back. I don't know either.
And we're back. It's just gonna be like random conversations. And we're back. And we're back. And we're back within 5 minutes. Yeah. We're 2 hours into the podcast. And we have 5 minutes of usable footage.
It's been an hour.
No, I know.
Okay.
I saw the
Jesus,
pen. You were like, no way.
That's why I said we should make it 2 hours. So if there's any, we can cut up to an hour of footage. I have a topic that I want to bring
for
up.
it, yeah.
Okay. So as you guys know, I am an Amazon delivery driver. And I think a lot of things that people don't know about being an Amazon delivery driver is when you report your driver, they tell you.
Wait, how do you report your driver? Like, what do you mean?
Through Amazon. Recently, I had somebody complain that I damaged their yard. I had a report against me for the yard damage. And I got a whole thing about it with the person's address and everything. So I know exactly who reported me.
You're gonna kill him?
Wait, they tell you their address and everything?
Yes, they give me
Why?
all them, so I can recall, because they'll ask me like, "Hey, this person, do you remember anything with this scenario?" Because it's a report that my company has to fight against. So they send me the address. So I literally had to drive to their house and take pictures and stuff of their yard because the person did not report any evidence of the damage.
You had to go to their yard?
Yeah,
and
I had
take
to go
pictures?
and take pictures and stuff and send
Were
it
they
in.
there when you did it?
No, I just pulled up to their house and.
Did you do it?
No. There was what looked like a tire, like an old tire track in their yard, like at the very, very edge. And it wasn't like nothing was ripped up. It looked like grass was kind of folded down. And it was reported like 2 weeks ago. And I remember like looking at it and being like, this could have been from anyone.
That is crazy.
Because I even told them, my company, I was like, I didn't even pull into their driveway. What do they mean? I parked on the street and walked up to their house. And they reported that there was damage. And so I took a bunch of pictures and then I sent it to my company as evidence that I didn't do it. But yeah, when you report an Amazon driver, I've been reported for a person not getting their stuff, and I get the addresses for that, so I know who reported me for what.
I think with Flex, I'm let know when a package isn't delivered, but I don't get like the full rundown of like who, where, what, when.
I think it's because I work for a company and you're a contractor. So since I work for a company, they get the information and then the company sends the information to me. So I can provide more information to them so that they can fight Amazon on it.
Because a lot of people said they didn't get their packages, and I'm just like.
Yeah, I've had a person complain about damaged packages. Now if a package is slightly damaged, I RTS it. Return to station is what RTS means.
I avoid returning shit because I don't want to drive all the way back to the station. Because I'm in my personal car, so it's like, if I'm down in Cincinnati, like the city, like downtown Cincinnati, and I have to drive back up to like Springdale.
There's different levels of escalations that the customer can escalate it to. And with the damaged package, the customer escalated it to for the most part, if it's just like, I think a level 1 escalation, it could be like a level 5. It could be backwards. I don't remember. But if it's a bottom level escalation, I won't hear about it.
Okay.
But if it gets escalated higher, I hear about it because they'll be like, hey, what happened in this scenario? Like, where did you put the package on this date at this time? And then I have to like think back on my old routes. I literally have a little notebook where I write down the area that I'm in, what van I'm in, so they can't be like, you drove van 72 on Wednesday and damaged it. I can look back in my own personal records and be like, it got switched to van 64. I was not in that van.
She has her receipts.
Yeah, I have receipts for
As
everything.
you should.
No, for real, because they can accuse you, especially customers who just like want money or refunds or what the fuck ever. They can accuse of anything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I drove to their house and I took pictures.
That's crazy. So if they escalate it to that point, do they get like money?
I have no idea. I can lose my job. Okay, that's how serious it is.
Like if you were to drive up their driveway, hit their dog, run into their garage, I understand, but like
a tire track in their yard. Like if you go down the driveway and you hit their grass a little bit, they can report you for that and you can lose your job.
Like anyone could have done that.
I mean, you got to think there's Amazon, there's UPS, there's USPS, there's FedEx, there's DHL, there's I don't remember the other one. There's so many delivery companies that I see consistently on a daily basis that we're all like sharing a route together, and we normally go, hey, we see each other because there's like camaraderie there. And yeah, it could have been any of them, but no, it was the Amazon driver. I understand that a lot of Amazon drivers are shitty fucking drivers.
Yeah.
But I've been doing this for 4 years and I have never damaged
You've been
anyone's
doing this for 4 years?
4 years.
Damn.
I have been in Amazon in the big blue vans delivering huge ass routes, okay? And I have never, ever damaged somebody's property. Never.
I think once I hit a basketball hoop.
Oh,
it scraped the side of the van.
I hit a basketball hoop, but I didn't break it or damage it.
I didn't either. So
the customer was standing in the driveway and I was trying to turn around and I bumped it and I stopped. I got out and I was like, can you check that to make sure there's no damage on it before I leave?
I would have zooted it off. I'm so scared.
I was in their driveway and they were standing right there. But even if they weren't standing right there, I would have got out. I would have looked at it, made sure there was no damage before I left. If there was damage, I would have knocked on their door and be like, hey, I hit your thing, because that's the right fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was one time when I was delivering, you know those big rocks at the corners of driveways that people, it's for like the water pit or whatever to prevent people from driving in your grass.
Yeah.
There was a big rock. It was like the size of my body if I were curled up in a ball. It was fucking massive. I hit that fucking rock and my tire went over it and I got trapped. And the lady shot out of her house. She's like, I saw you can't drive away. I saw you do it. And I was like, I wasn't going to drive away.
You were just going off-road for fun.
I got around it, but I rolled the rock into the street. And she was like screaming at me the whole time. And like her husband came outside and he was so angry and like mad. And I'm like, I can understand why you're mad when you got a wife like that. Like she's just screaming at a freaking service worker. Like, all right. And I was like, do you want me to help you push it back? Because it was like freaking like a 400-pound rock. You know what I mean?
So you drove over it and then you drove over it and then you had to back up. And
I was kind of stuck on it for a minute, and it took me a minute of back, like here.
So you were backing up, and then the rock fell into the road?
Yeah,
okay.
I rolled it. My van rolled it into the road.
Oh my God.
It was like, you literally, like I said, it was 400 pounds. You had to push it to put it back into its spot.
So like, I just imagine you, the wife and husband, just like angrily like,
yeah. And I didn't leave until they got it back because I'm not about, I didn't damage anything. The rock was fine.
Your van was probably damaged.
My van was damaged, but the rock was fine. And I was like, do you want me to help you push that back? And he's like, no, it's fine. He was like so mad. And I was just like,
dude.
oh my God, it's
not your child.
And it was, they were in a house and I guess they owned the property next door because it was a apartment building.
Oh, what?
I was like in the ghetto. It was like an apartment building. And so they owned that building and they put that rock there, I guess, to prevent people from driving through the grass there. And like I said, I nicked it with my van and fucking rolled it into the fucking street. God. But yeah, I like I said, I don't consider that damage because nothing was fucking broken except for my van. I mean, I've bottomed out and ripped off the side steps on vans. You know what I mean?
I mean, but that's understandable because they're like really low.
Yeah, no, like, you know, the backside step I've ripped, they used to use cheap ones and they would just like fucking fall off all the time and I had to pick them up and throw them into my van and just continue on. Now they're a lot more durable. Like they say that with the nitrate cameras, I don't know if that's the right word. That they like literally watch everything that you do. With the nitrate cameras, I forgot my point.
Do they see you like fuck up the van and throw the thing in the back, the step?
Oh, with the nitrate cameras, they say that if the light turns yellow to slam on your brakes, because if you go through that red light, you get a point. And Amazon, like, you can lose your job if you get 3 infraction, or you get suspended if you get 3 infractions in one day, which could be speeding as an infraction, running a red light is an infraction, and roll stop at a stop sign is an infraction.
Okay, I was behind a Amazon van the other day when I was delivering, and I'm like, why are they stopping so hard? Like, why are they like actually coming to a full stop for like a second? I was like getting annoyed. I'm like, are they fucking with me? Like, when people actually stop at a stop sign for like seconds, like at a full stop for seconds, it's like kind of annoying.
You have to, or you get a point. We have to stop for 3 seconds. And like with the speed limit, I'll be driving down a road, and then my van, I'll look down, I'll be like, oh, I'm going 35 and it's a 25. I have to slam on my brakes and go 25, right? I can go up to 30. You can go 5 over.
Then Amazon drivers are driving around with the back door open, and that's fine.
Yeah. That's
But your
okay.
packages can just fall out, and that's fine.
I mean, that I do for convenience, and it's only if I'm in a neighborhood. If I go out on a main road, obviously, I'm not going to leave a door open.
They don't like...
And I have to deliver enough packages down where I usually will leave the sliding door open, but I will clear out the whole section where the sliding door is, so nothing will fall out.
Okay.
I see door drivers, though, driving around with it fully freaking loaded, and I'm like... all right, bud, if you want to, like, if you lose packages, that's on you. It's the driver's responsibility. You are responsible for all those.
Do you know how they have, I know it's newer, the one-time password thing? Like, that's annoying.
I hate that so much.
You know what I do?
What?
I know that you probably shouldn't do this, but when I'm like going through and loading my car and I see I have one, I mark it as missing. And then I just put it back in my cart and take it to the warehouse and just leave it in the warehouse. I mark it as missing so I don't have to do it.
I'm sure that they're gonna
But they find it eventually.
The one-time packages or one-time password, Amazon has been going hard on those.
I hate it. Like, does the customer even realize? Because I've had a customer, because I used to do it and it got so annoying, but I've had a customer be like, I don't know why there's a password. Like, I don't understand.
Because they kept reporting that they didn't get their stuff. So Amazon put a password so that you can't report it as that you didn't get it.
So you don't opt into it, they just do it for you?
Yes. They do not, because most customers that I'll have a one-time password to, they'll be like, what are you talking about? What is that? And I have to explain. I'm like, it's a new thing Amazon's doing. There's a passcode in your email. I stopped saying there's a passcode in your email because customer will be like, hang on, and walk away and go get their phone. I say,
it takes like 10 minutes.
There's another option on there where they can just give you the last 2 digits of the phone number.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I'll go and I'll be like, what's the last 2 digits of your phone number? Because I'm not gonna, like, I have 3 to 350 houses to go to.
Yeah.
I do not have time to sit there and wait for you to find your phone and look through your email and pull up the email. Just give me the last 2 digits of your phone number.
And it's like a 50% chance that they won't even answer the door, and then I have to return the package to the station.
With the at a DSP, what they do is we have to reattempt it at least twice.
Really?
Yes.
What the fuck?
So if the customer doesn't answer the door, I have to go back at the end of my route. And if I don't do that, I get pointed.
Just mark it as missing.
I can't do that because then no, that's even worse than.
Fuck. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get deactivated.
I normally only have like 1 per route.
I figured if you mark it as missing and they never find it, then you'll get in trouble. But because I bring it right back to the warehouse before I even leave the warehouse to like start delivering.
You just hide it in a bag.
Yeah. Well, the big carts we have that we have to take in and out to load the car, I just put it back in, bring it back to the empty carts area, and just leave it there. So someone would be like, "Oh, maybe they found it in the parking lot and just brought it back," but it was just me that brought it back.
Yeah. I mean, there's been times where my van will be so loaded, I'll be like, I can't fit anything else in here. And if I tell an Amazon employee that, they'll come over and they'll start trying to shove shit in.
Oh my God.
And move shit around. And I'm like, so what I'll do is I'll just shove the cart inside the building and then text my DSP. I'll be like, hey,
I don't get paid enough for this. Like, please.
Like my route on Tuesday, my van, they gave me a regular van, which they should have gave me an EDV because they're bigger, but it was literally to the fucking ceiling. But I had a point with the nitrate cameras.
Oh yeah.
They want us, if the light's yellow, they want us to slam on their brakes. And then somebody was like, what about if there's somebody like following your ass behind you? They're like, that's why we installed those durable step stools, because it'll fuck up their car and your car will be fine. It's like an anti cushion thing. So if somebody wrecks into, yeah, it's like if somebody wrecks into it, like I've had people hit me in the back of that, and the van is absolutely unscathed, but their van it's like wedged in their grill. You know what I mean?
True.
So yeah, they're like, slam on your brakes. If they're if they're riding your ass, that's their problem, not ours, because they shouldn't be doing that to begin with. Like, you won't get in trouble for that. The person who hit you will.
Right.
But they want us to be slamming our brakes at yellow lights. So like, yeah, that's like good information for like the general public to know about Amazon drivers. Like all the and it's like they add new rules. Like more and more rules are piling up, and it's becoming so fucking overwhelming. Like, I cannot wait until I finish my accounting certificate, because I'm going to start looking for jobs, because accounting entry-level jobs start off at the same pay that I'm making now. About 20 an hour, which I make about 22. So
Delivery drivers are so underpaid.
Amazon delivery drivers are underpaid. I've been here for 4 years and I make $21.75, $21.50, something like that. And I started off at $15 an hour.
I think that's what I started at.
Mm-hmm. They now start off at 19. I think it's like $19.75 is what they start off at.
That's what they pay for a distribution center, like to fill a truck.
And really? I believe you get about $1 raise every year that you're there.
So you can eventually get like $200 million an hour?
I mean, you'd have to work there for 200 million years.
I mean, honestly, if I could live that long, I would do it.
No, I wouldn't.
Imagine that was your hourly
life goal. Like no.
$2,000 an hour.
Like if Matthew got a job at a DSP and worked there for a year, by next year Matthew would be making $20.75, and then 2 years he'd be making $21.75,
and then 300 years, $375.
Like I started off at 15, but they kept adjusting my wage for inflation.
Oh.
Like there was 1 year I got like 3 separate raises because I went from 15 to 16 to 18 to 19. And then now I'm to 20 to 21. This wasn't all in 1 year though. But like in 1 year there was like 2 to 3 separate raises. Every around November I get a raise. Because I started in October, so. Matthew, do you have anything to add?
Was there something you wanted to talk about? Because you said something in the beginning. You're like, I'll talk about it on the podcast. Something with your friend? Chess? Drinking?
Oh.
No? Did I just sum it up?
Essentially.
Did you want to say anything?
I'm just saying this is the hungover me today.
I feel bad for like talk. Like,
no. There's no excuse. Not for you, for me. There's no excuse. I'm not saying
there's no excuse.
No, don't apologize because there's
please, if I'm being too intense, please say something.
I'll tell you if you are.
Because I can feel when I get like heated, and then it's kind of like I feel like I'm like attacking you.
No, I don't feel attacked. You would have to come over here and start throwing.
I think he deserved it.
For saying Big Mike?
Yes. Yes, don't say that, please. Yes. You know now why. So
I don't think you were going too hard.
At least feel guilty if you're...
Michelle Obama's pseudonym.
Becca, I would have jumped in if I felt like you were going too hard. I'm like, Becca...
Okay. Like, I'm doing it for the people.
No, you're fine.
I'm not just doing it to like be malicious. I'm doing it to...
I think you have malicious... No, I'm just kidding.
malicious intent.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm about to get a militia of viewers to... Yeah.
They're going to be like,
all
W. Matthew.
W. Yeah. Common Matthew W. They're gonna say I'm actually a common L for me because I gave in. I was like, you're right. If I held my ground, they'd be like, Dub.
I don't want you to just be like, you're right, because you don't want to talk about it anymore. Like,
the fuck?
I was trying to get your attention.
Oh. Well,
did you want to talk about your friend?
I was just saying, we drank last night, and I finally used that thing that we got from Michigan.
What? The weed.
The thing.
So that was the first time, like
that I used that one.
Okay.
It was nice.
How was it?
I went very, very slow.
So
and
you
cross-faded. Cross-buzzed. I didn't get drunk. I didn't get like mega high. I was just like right in the sweet spot of both. It was nice. We're just playing chess, and I lost every game, but that's okay. I was playing good. They're just good players. I was
You
playing
actually
good.
know how to play chess? Like, legitimately?
Not like I'm not like good, but like I know, like I understand the game.
Okay, I
but
have no
not
idea.
strategy is one that I'm working on.
You're gonna be the next Queen Gambit.
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit.
That's
I knew
a
what you meant.
that's a
That
Netflix.
show was so good. They're making season 2, and
Are
I'm like,
they?
yeah.
if
And
you
I was like, feel like it's overkill.
if
You
you
think?
Yeah, I feel like
As-
the first season was good.
if someone who actually knows chess watched that show, they'd be like, what the fuck? They
Was
could have
it-
just done this.
I think she was a real person.
Yeah, not Anna Taylor-Joy or whatever the lady's
Are you
name is.
saying she lost because she was a or she should
No,
lose
no, no,
because she was
no.
a woman?
Queen's Gambit
I'm just kidding.
is the name of a certain opening in chess where
And they
you-
used that.
yeah,
That's why they're-
I think so. It's like you move your queen's pawn, and then they move their queen or their king's pawn or something like that. And if you take, there's a queen's Gambit accepted and a queen's Gambit declined, meaning if you take that center pawn, then you've accepted. And it's like there's so many different openings in chess. It's like you'll never play the same game twice. It's like a deck of cards. You know what I mean? And there's so many different options.
So what do they call someone that's really good at chess then? Like
It depends. You have to go to tournaments and stuff to get your titles.
what are the titles?
There's like something master. There's grandmaster. That's like the top.
You're gonna be a grandmaster.
No, God no. You have to be like over 2,000 elo, which is insane.
I have no idea what that means.
It's essentially just your ranking. Like
Elos.
elo, I don't even know exactly what elo is, but it's like every time you win or lose a game, you gain or lose a certain amount of points depending on the other person's elo. So like
Oh.
if I was a 1500 and I played a 1500, I don't know if I would make any points if I won. You definitely wouldn't make a whole lot of points if you played someone less than you. To really move up, you had to like play people who were better than you.
You gotta square up and kick some ass.
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible to beat someone with a higher elo, but it's crazy, like the strats and shit. But chess is boring.
I assume it just takes a long time to understand the different strategies
Yes,
and like
people like Magnus Carlsen, the chess champion right now, world champion. He's been playing since he was like 5, and he's like, I think he's in his 30s right now, and he's the modern like GOAT. But
he's the chess god. Chess
yes.
god.
But Kaparov is considered, I think, the best, which is like a guy from 60s or something. But
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
You should be he should be your apprentice, or you should be his apprentice.
I'm not good at chess. That's the thing. I'm
This is your new career path.
I mentioned chess and you're like, oh, that means you're really good. I'm like, no, I just told
I
you.
mean, anyone that can understand chess, I'm like,
I just told you last night I lost every game.
I mean, I
I
haven't
played well.
tried to understand, but I'm sure it's difficult to understand.
You want to play a game of chess right
Sure.
now?
I
have
know
a-
checkers.
God
I
damn
love
it.
checkers.
Checkers is so fun.
I'm so Justin. I believe he's good at chess, but not checkers. And I remember,
What the
I don't know. I just remember, this was like years ago. I was playing against checkers with him, and like I have so many checker strategies because like I'm good at checkers, right? And I kept beating him over and over again. And I was like, hey, and he's like, you think this is fun for me? You think this is fun for me? And I
He was
like-
genuinely upset.
Yeah, he was upset because I kept beating him, and I was like, "Ugh, fine, I'll go easy on you." He's like, that won't be fun for me either. Like he was getting upset because I just kept beating him over and over and over again.
Passover. What is Passover?
It's
You
a
can't talk about
religious. It's
Is
a
it the
religious
fish?
thing.
You can only eat fish.
You can't talk about that.
Lent.
I don't know.
Lent is where.
Lent is when you give something up. For a
That's
certain
what's in my pocket right now.
That's you can't actually joke about that because you just offended like the biggest
I'm
group
punching up, Matthew.
but you're punching.
I'm running for president, guys. This is my
Becca
You have to be
2028.
35. You have to be 35.
She'll be 35 by
identify.
2028.
I identify as 35. Is that what you're about to say? You think identification is a joke to you, Jim? Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. We just lost half the viewers.
People do try to use that argument when in
Oh yeah,
debates.
every time they're like, "Well, can you identify as black?"
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no. And it's like, well, don't you see there's a line that you draw in the sand where you're like, yes and no, this person is this thing.
When people make that argument, I don't think I can roll my eyes any fucking harder.
Yeah.
My eyes go into a different dimension.
Like, my eyes roll so hard they pop out of my fucking
is-
head.
I understand why they would use that argument, though. Because they're like, well, what's the difference? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if they, I mean, because I'm like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? I like always listen to those debates. I'm like, what? I'm like, I just want to hear what he has to say. But I'm like, I don't know the difference between being like, well, I identify as a woman, and be like, well, why can't you identify as a plane or a
plane. It's
blade of grass
because
or black?
people who identify as a gender, they're still identifying as human.
True.
If you identify as something that's non-human,
What about furries?
that's not a real.
I identify as a dog.
People aren't actually. That is for fun. People dress up as animals for fun.
I
That's
thought
not
it was
their,
like a sexual thing.
No, yeah, they
it's not
believe.
their true identity.
There's people that believe they're wolves, and they have like this whole alpha, beta, sigma type.
Have you seen that
hierarchy in the
guy
house.
who spent all that money to become a border collie?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, of course, is that mental illness?
I don't even want to speak on that because.
Okay.
But
So you just want to pick your battles. Okay,
no,
I get it.
okay, you cannot identify as a different species. That's all I'm gonna say.
Card full. No. Are we good? What the frig?
Yeah, I was talking about a plague that literally has like almost impossible survival rate.
Like rabies. If everyone just got
Oh.
rabies.
Oh my
Like
God.
like no
I have a
vaccine.
story.
You had
Okay.
rabies. Or you pet the possum.
The other day I was delivering and I saw this dog. I thought it was a dog. It was running around all crazy and like snarling and snapping and like foaming
Was
and
it a
shit.
raccoon?
It
What
was
was it?
it was all mangy and half of its fur was missing. So it had like on its butt area, it had like a tail with no fur and its butt area was missing fur. But it was like running and trying to get into people's backyards at their dogs and shit. And I remember standing there like, what is that? And I got a closer look at it. I'm like, that is a rabid coyote.
Oh.
You got close to it.
I got close enough to look at its fucking face,
pet him.
yeah.
Wait.
No, and I went in my van, I closed the door, and I immediately Googled, because I had pepper spray on me, does pepper spray work on rabid animals?
think
The
it
answer
does.
is no.
No, it does not.
The answer is no.
They don't give a
Really?
fuck.
Because their nervous system isn't working, so they don't really feel pain the same.
And
So, yeah.
did you were delivering the package and then ran back to the van?
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
I was
didn't-
walking up and I saw it run by and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is somebody's dog out? And I was watching it and I'm like, that thing looks like, I'm like, oh, it's just, I don't even know what went through my mind. Like I said, it was mangy, it was snapping, it was like all foamy. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with that dog? And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's a rabid coyote. I've never seen a rabid animal in real life. And this happened in, it's still February, right?
Yep.
At the end of January.
Oh my god.
But the reason I brought up rabies is once it gets to a certain point, it's the death rate is almost 100%.
Yeah.
Like once you get hydrophobic, you're done
Yeah.
essentially. Which is crazy that there's something that can plant a fear of water in your head. You know what I mean? If you have it, you're like, oh no. Like, you know what I mean? That's so crazy. It's like it's just
I
crazy.
never. Okay, so I understand the what's it called? Something selection.
Natural selection?
Like I understand natural selection, but like why do diseases and stuff like that exist? Like the only purpose is to kill you.
Well, diseases are just like any other organism, right?
It's just how our body reacts to them, I guess.
They're like a microbe, right? And they need a host to survive.
But it's like once you die, it dies with you, right?
But its whole purpose is to reproduce and spread.
Like so like
So-
a
It's
virus.
It's like pollen on like dandelions and those
Yeah,
little.
so its purpose is to spread to other hosts. So it is like a, I don't want to say it's a creature, but it's like a creature.
It's a living thing.
It's like, yes, it's a living
It's
thing.
bacteria.
It's bacteria. It's microscopic and it lives within
Virusi,
you.
viri.
Technically, we have a bunch of bacteria living inside of us now that are just like moving around doing their own fucking thing.
That's why kids that eat dirt don't get sick.
I used to eat dirt.
you did. I remember.
I tried to eat. I've eaten dirt a few
Oh no,
times.
you have had COVID. I was about to say you haven't even had COVID.
I've never
You
had
recently.
COVID.
Yeah, I had
Oh, that's
COVID
right.
too.
Have you
I
had
had,
COVID?
I had it once.
I've never had
I had
COVID.
it once in June.
I think I've had it 2 times, maybe
on wood.
3.
It wasn't that bad for me. I felt like I had the flu for like, it was weird. It was one day I was really sick, the next day I wasn't, the next day I was really sick, the next day I wasn't.
Yeah, that's how I
was
had a
back
friend
and
who
forth.
had it, and that's
Yeah.
how she described it
But
being.
it was maybe 4 or 5 days. It really wasn't that bad.
I got the flu,
Yeah, the flu is
and
not fun.
I thought it was COVID, and I kept testing. Like every single day I would test for COVID because, you know, we got those free, there's another free COVID test. I don't know if you got them.
I tried to get them, but they keep not delivering them. Like they'll put
They're
that
like,
little.
oh, she has a passcode or a OTP.
Well, they just don't put it in my mailbox because I guess it's too big.
Oh.
Well,
And I just don't
I
get it.
kept testing every day, and it kept coming back negative, so I felt like I was dying, though.
The flu, is it where you vomit and stuff?
No,
Nausea?
I had, it was the other end, really fucking
Oh.
bad.
Yeah.
I think I
It's
got it
like
when I was a
cold
kid.
symptoms, but worse. Like I had a fever, and I could barely make it to the bathroom. Like it was really bad.
That's
I'm
how-
not gonna go any further detail than that.
COVID for me was like just really bad cold. So like, what is the what's the difference between cold and flu?
They're different bacterias. They're not called bacterias, but microbes.
I think they're both seasonal. You know how you get the flu is, there's like, it's flu season or it's cold season or, you know, that type of thing. I mean, but I'm sure you can get the flu any time of year. Just depends on who you're in contact with. I think it's strictly like a person to person thing. I don't think you just get the flu from like looking at the sun for too long. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason. But speaking of diarrhea, I'm actually very surprised that I have not been shitting my ass out today, because usually when I drink as much as I did last night,
Oh yeah.
it would get me. I had a lot of beer. I had Michelob and fucking like just like super cheap beer.
How late did you stay up?
Only like 1.
1 a.m.
I woke up at 9 a.m. I woke up at 9 on my friend's mom's couch, and I was scared because I didn't know she was home. I didn't know where. So I like changed. I was wearing sleep pants, and I changed back into my pizza sauce fucking.
So did you like black out? You don't remember?
No, I did not black out. I was fully. I mean, I'm sure there's moments that I don't remember because I
Then why
wasn't.
were you scared?
I was just saying I don't know where she is, and I had to change my pants.
Oh.
And I didn't know where the bathroom was. So.
Oh, okay.
And he essentially owns the basement, but my other friend was taking up. So one was in Mason was in his bed. Dagan slept on the couch, and then I was sleeping on the couch upstairs because either that or the floor. Which I
Okay.
slept on the floor last time, and I didn't want to do that again. So, but surprisingly, like I haven't needed to. I mean, there's still a chance. I haven't passed a stool yet today, or
The
bowel
hangover
movement.
shits.
Yeah, they'll get you, but it hasn't got me. I
Those,
haven't.
those can happen later in the day too.
Yeah.
Depends on how late you stay up and how much you drink. And
Yeah, I mean, I had maybe. Well, we went to Dickman's, which is a bar over in Fort Wright, and we between the three of us we shared 2 pitchers, which is like 4 to 5 beers each, and I probably had 3 or 4 cups, and then when I got back to Mason's, I had 2 more bottles that he had in his fridge, and then I was hitting on to Penske, which Mike
Look at her.
Penske.
She was looking for you like that.
What the fuck?
So since you've gotten older, do you think your hangovers are getting worse?
It depends on the actions I take before I go to bed. If I drink
Right.
water, last night I drank a ton of water. So I don't.
it could have been worse.
It could have
Yeah.
been way worse.
But as you get older, the hangovers get worse.
Yeah. Which I don't know how people do it.
I couldn't.
I know Mike. Whenever I'm in town, he ramps up a little bit just because it's like, whoa, we're having a good time. whatever.
Yeah.
And then he goes to work. He goes to bed at like 2 a.m. and wakes up at like 7. And he's-
Apparently, it's like between men and women, they have different like hangovers.
I don't know
like,
how Dad
apparently
did it
men,
either.
Men can just like go about their normal day. They eat
Crazy.
a good big breakfast and they're good to go. But like, I feel like women, it's like I'm down for the count for like
Oh, yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't me. I was able
Really?
to get up and function normally. The
Really?
the worst hangover, but I had migraines and headaches all the fucking time
Oh.
because I was an alcoholic. So like it
I
was
guess
like
my
consistent.
experience was different
Yeah, the most I would have a lot of tummy problems in the morning, but that was about it.
because I would be like
Understandable.
vomiting.
If I way overdid it, then I'd be vomiting and stuff. But
Okay.
I would have to drink. I was gonna say an entire bottle, but I did that every night. I drank a whole bottle to myself. I'd have to drink an entire bottle plus more for
'Cause, like,
it to affect me horribly. Like I
I
was
was-
dying.
a raging alcoholic, but I wasn't a functioning one. Like I could not function.
You were just angry all the time.
No, like well, I mean, but like I would drink a whole lot, and then I'd be down until like 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and then I would work. But you were saying you would be good to just work.
Sometimes I'd stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning drinking, and I'd wake up and I'd still be a little drunk, and I'd go to work.
There was a time Dad drove me to school drunk. He was 100% still drunk. Yeah.
Could you tell like the driving patterns or like?
Yeah, that and we went away. We usually don't go. Yeah, we ended up on like the wrong side of town.
I thought you say the wrong side of the road.
No. That would have been the first thing I said. But there was the one light, which is right next to my house now. I moved when I moved. But he got upset because it turned red. But it was like it was like very obviously late in the cycle because we were driving up to it and it was green. Mm-hmm. But like as we got closer and it turned yellow and it turned red, he was just like it was like super upsetting to him. Like, you're not working today. It was like December. He had that month. Yeah, he had that month off, so like he didn't care. He just went back home and slept. It wasn't like he was in a rush.
Was this middle school for you?
This was high school. This was not so. The month before he passed.
Oh.
Yeah. So he dropped me off at school, my high school. But yeah, it was really funny. Like I didn't think anything of it at the time, but yeah.
Damn.
I was just going up to that red light. So mad. I'm like, it's not that.
Every time I'm at a stoplight or whatever and it turns green, I always think green means go, because he always scream that every time because people are so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that too in my head.
Green means go. Green means go.
Green beans go. Green beans. We're back to let you guys go. Yeah.
She has hair on her head. Get it.
Rip it off.
Look at a little paw on my leg.
She's so precious.
Do you remember that cat in Michigan that like randomly came in the house?
Yeah.
What?
She, River let her in. The cat walked up to me and was like using my leg as a scratch post. I was wearing jeans, and the nails were so sharp because it was a stray, and it just went straight through my Levi's. They were like good quality jeans, like thick quality, and it just went straight through to my knee. It was just like, I'm like, oh God!
What are you doing?
Can't you get like, what is it called, like cat scratch fever from strays?
Probably.
I don't think it was a stray. It had a collar on. I think it was just a neighborhood cat.
But those, they're weathered. Like they are, the claws are like naturally sharp.
Yeah.
Like super, like way sharper than like.
Well, usually an outside cat uses their nails a lot more.
Right. I think that was the point of it. That was actually the point I was trying to make.
Oh, okay. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this 45-minute long podcast.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
You all don't have to do that.
And
we
hit
know
the
you guys
bell.
love us. You don't have to show
If
it.
you don't like this podcast, my cat will die. So you better
All
like it.
Goodbye, everybody.
I heard a tummy growl.
That was me. I'm starving. I'm gonna get Skyline on the way home.
Yeah, I think Justin's gonna be in Michigan later. So I'm gonna.
Is it around? Is he doing a one-day trip or what is he
He
doing?
plans on when he gets off work at 4:30, going straight up to Michigan and then coming back home.
4 hours each way.
8 hours, and I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do.
It is Friday. He doesn't work tomorrow, right?
No, he doesn't work
Fuck
tomorrow.
it.
Yeah, no, that's Justin normally doesn't do spontaneous trips
Why
like
doesn't
that.
he just wait till tomorrow?
I mean, I could go
He
up
wants
with
it.
him.
He's out now.
Yeah, he's completely out.
Which
and
I get it.
There's,
At one point in my life, I would have went up there for a Juul pod. You know what I mean? If
So
it was like,
wait.
we'll give you one Juul pod if you drive 4 hours. But okay.
Is this what he does normally? Like, how else did he have it?
he has a friend that he gets it from, and his friend is out, and he's been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Do we want to cut? Are we still on?
Yeah, let's cut it.
Yeah, I was like, we shouldn't be talking about illegal stuff on the bike. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.